They're here. They're here. The puppies are here. Who said that in Dalmatians? Was it Cruella de Vil or was it Anita? I think it was Cruella, right? Well, I stole that line from Dalmatians, guys, because
The puppies are here! Oh, the puppies are here!
they're here. What? My cards. Now, this is a mock-up case that I did for my cards because when I turned in the information on my case, they were having such a hard time, right? Such a hard time because of the template. But Gary said he fixed it. And by George, did he fix it. Ta-da! Ta-da! Make sure I don't have it upside down, right? Look at it, guys. I hope, let's see. My husband Joe was walking and dragging his slippers, but he knows I hate that when I'm recording, so I paused just now and he lifted. All right, guys, I like the color of the box, that cream color. I think when the company was pointing arrows at things that were wrong on the box, what things they thought were wrong, it's because they thought I wanted this photograph to go completely from left to right on the box. And no, I didn't. I wanted it to have that beige thing here like a frame because I was framing it with the title. Okay, so on this side I think that's fine. I mean, I'm sure I can spread out the watermelon a little bit further next time around if I wanted to, but I don't know if I'm gonna mess around with that. Over here, I think this is what they were trying to say, that the cookies were a little bit cropped off. Can you see that? I don't care. I don't mind. And over here, I do have to remove these three, words? It says +1 extra because I wasn't able to do the one extra in the deck that I wanted to do. Because when I went into the website to do this, it said I can do up to 80 cards, but I wasn't able to delete like that last blank card. I don't know what that was about. I don't know if it was going to come with a blank card. So I just stuck with the 78, which is the normal. So next time around, I'm going to have Gary remove. Well, I removed it already. I just have to send Gary the info for him to be able to put it on the template again. So I think the box is perfect. Honestly, I love it. So that's the back of the box. And it says Tarot a la carte. You like the name? I did not want them to do anything with this name. I told ChatGPT when I was looking for the title, help me name it, but don't give me nothing with the word gourmet because I don't want to steal from this. So I like the a la carte because that has to do with food, and it says a bite of destiny. I came up with that. So it says feed your intuition. Tarot a la carte blends the magic of tarot with the joy of food. A vibrant deck that invites you to see everyday life as a feast of meaning. Each card celebrates the flavors, moods, and symbols that connect our plates to our purpose. From sweet moments of clarity to spicy bursts of change, this deck serves inspiration in every reading. Whether you're a foodie, a tarot lover, or just hungry for a little magic, that's all three for me. Tarot a la carte is your invitation to play, savor, and explore. Bon appetit! And may your readings be deliciously divine. Created by Barbara McNabb, yada yada yada. And I put my little logo, you can't see it, which is a little dragonfly. So see, lift off the top. And I wanted the bottom to look, where did I steal this idea from? Shoot, I'll find it. I'll find them. Oh, I know which box I stole it from. I like the plaid. See? I like the plaid all the way around. And I did not want the words to fit. I wanted some of the plaid to come up like this. That's exactly what I wanted for the box. Whatever changes I need to make for the box or to the box is just because some placement issue. That's my fault, right? So this is the box that I stole the idea from. It's not quite plaid, but it has a design, right? So remember I told you mine wasn't going to be quite like this where it has that indent to hold the cards and this wide box because they have this book. And of course mine did not come with the book, but my friend Julie says, you don't need the book, Barbara. You have the meanings on the cards. Plus I have a book that people can download if I so choose to give that as a free gift. Julie, thank you so much for this. This is my Christmas gift from my friend Julie. Julie has been with me probably since 2011. I've seen her go through some stuff. She's seen me go through some stuff. And we've been there for each other. And she has been my mentor every step of the way. She's the one that made me stop be afraid of tarot. Because you know the way they raise you, you're kind of scared. Like, oh my God, it's the devil, right? So I made this box because I said, I'm going to buy a printer. I'm going to buy a laminator. I'm going to make my own darn box because the box made it so expensive. It's $43 plus the shipping. The shipping is what killed me too, right? I'm going to make another deck with them for sure. Maybe a couple more. And I want to stay with them because I like the work, but it's so expensive. I need money to buy like a lot to get it for a little bit cheaper price, right? So let's get the cards out. And by the way, full disclosure, I've already seen the cards, okay? Now, when they first came, they came like this. And I asked my son Josh to look at it first. I didn't want to look at it and, you know, if they were horrid. I didn't want to know. So he looked at them first. And he was oohing and awing. My daughter-in-law was here. And I don't think she's quite into them. I think she's kind of spooked. But her daughter, my little step-granddaughter, she's into it, right? Into all the spiritual stuff. So I want to be mindful and respectful of the people that are not with it, okay? So you know I have this one, the Rider-Waite. And I'm going to pause for a second just to see who was calling my phone because it could be my daughter. She's running around today because she's going to go on a trip. Hold on. It wasn't my daughter, so she's safe. All right, so first card is Major Arcana. Oh, by the way, I'm going to take a pause in between presenting the cards the way I've been doing in sequence, just to put this one video in between. Okay, when we pick up the video again, we're going to be in the fours. Four suits, right? The fours. So let's go through my cards because I want to tell you guys the stories. This is going to be a long video. All right, so just go do the dishes or something and put this phone on the counter and listen, right? Put the phone on the counter and watch this video. So I want to tell you all the stories behind the scenes. So the Fool. So if you notice here in the Rider-Waite, it has a dude that's walking off the edge of a cliff. It has a little dog with him. He has the hobo bindle stick. I think that's what it's called, the bindle stick. And he has like a bird in one hand. I couldn't do the bird in one hand. So I gave my own ideas, right? Evie's in the living room, that's right there. She's barking at something. So I put me. I didn't want to put Joe because he appears several times in the deck, right? Just giving me his body parts to use. So I put me because you can't see my face. I didn't want to show my face. I have the little dog also, right? And I have a picnic basket on the ground. Can you see that? Man, I hope. Man. You guys, let me see if this is working. Is the light messing it up? Okay, right there. Right there. Picnic basket. I have the bindle stick. What was my bindle stick? It was my monopod. It's right there in my backyard. And I'm standing on this box. Years ago, I asked Joe to make me this box so I can step up and do exercises. But the box is too tall for me to step up. I needed the box to be shorter. But he made it tall because he says, you can do it. I'm like, no, I can't. So I stepped up on the box, put on my pretty shoes, put on just a white skirt. And I staked out my foot like that. You don't know how hard, my leg. You don't know how hard it is for me to do this because I suffer from Meniere's and vertigo. And so to do that balancing act was so hard. And then to keep the dog at bay. So what we did, I had like a bread or something in my hand, the picnic stuff. She wanted to go to the picnic stuff. And Joe was just like taking the camera like, guy. He was doing the camera like that. And I kept telling the dog, stay, because she knows stay. You know, stay, or not stay, wait. She knows wait. Wait. And she's like, huh? Give me the bread. So while I'm showing you the Fool, let me show you the back of the card. I designed that in Canva. All right? I'm going to peek around the bend every now and again to make sure the cards are not like hitting the light. So that's the Fool. I'm so pleased with this card. So pleased. I love the coloring. I like the way the cards feel too. So let's go ahead and, should I show you the Gourmet Tarot one too while I'm showing you the Rider-Waite? What did they have for the Fool? You see that? I don't know what that is. A boiled egg or something like that. All right, so we're gonna go, let's try to go through quickly because we need to tell our stories. Man, I should be more organized. For the Magician, they have like a dude doing a magic act and they have that infinity sign above his head, right? Right? That's what I picked up from the card when I was doing it. So for my Magician, I put the infinity in there. And this is my actual fireplace. Last winter, we were burning a fire. And then I have a picture from one of my cookbook where I did this thing in the skillet and I flambéed some, well, Joe was flambeing some ripe plantain and the fire got up in the pot, right? And it just, so I just merged. I moved, took out the background from the skillet thing and I put it on what was actually in front of the fireplace, which was the logwood, right? So I did like an edit to make that happen. But the fires are real. The fire in the pan is real. The fire in the fireplace is real. I just put the two items together. And then I went in there and I found that gold thing and I put that there for the Magician. And I'm really pleased how that came out also. I thought Jory was going to have to help me like Photoshop this. But he said I did an excellent job with merging the fires. This thing right here, that little dot right there. Can you see that? Let me block the light. Oh. I don't know if you could see a little dot right there. It kind of bugged me. I thought it was in the picture, like on the paper, like I want to dig it off. But it's actually a screw that's in my fireplace thing, so that's fine. All right, so the next one is the High Priestess. We're going to go through the major arcanas pretty fast, okay? And if you can see, the lady sits there, and to the side, she has the pillars with the B and the J, which stands for Boaz and Joaquin or something like that. And so I made sure that I captured that in my picture. But what I did for my picture was kombucha. Because remember, it's a food deck. I did kombucha because kombucha is so mysterious. It's a living, breathing thing, right? And there's mystery going on in the jar of kombucha right there. We don't know what the hell those pellicles and the SCOBY and stuff is doing and brewing up in there, right? So I put a glass and I wanted it to be bubbly. And I did get somewhere that it was bubbly, but it looked like spit. It didn't look good. So Josh was like, no, don't put the bubbles, mommy. And then I put the bottle in the back and I put the word kombucha in the back there. And of course, I put the B and the J because I see all readers look for that. Whenever they're reading a card, they go like, yeah, see, the two pillars, yada, yada. So on the jars, the gallon jars look like pillars. So that's why I did that for the High Priestess. For the Empress, you see like a queen sitting there. You know, for the regular card, queen sitting there. And it's just like abundance. But if you notice, it has the sign for woman, right? So I'm trying to pick up on all the little signs that are in the cards. And so for mine, I had this picture before. I wasn't in the picture right there. It was a different shot of me. It's on my book that's called No More Leftovers. And I went back to the same spot. Like 6 years later, found the same darn tree. And I got down on a blanket and I knelt and I turned my face, because some of them I don't want my face direct. You know, I wanted to have a human touch in here and I used myself and my family, but some of them I didn't want my face because it wasn't about me. You know, it was about the food. And so I had all that food already. I didn't have to take the food back again because when we did this the first time, we almost got in trouble at the nature center to do that, okay? So I just had Jory, my son, Photoshop me into the shot. Okay, but I had to kind of try to get the same scenery. So I did. We did that. All right, let me grab the tarot food deck real quickly. So this was their Magician. It was their Magician. Some guy cooking up something magic, you know. This was their High Priestess. Don't understand that either. I guess whatever's hidden in the cake. And this is their Empress. I kind of like their Empress. And I thought of doing that for the Empress to do like a fruit salad type thing. But I went and I used the picture that I already had and recreated something else. So then the Emperor is a king sitting on his throne. And does he have anything special in his hand that I picked up on? No. I just used the picture that I had from one of my book with my middle son, Jory, my middle child. And he was carving a turkey. And his face wasn't directly to the camera because he would kill me if I put one where he's looking directly at the camera. And even so, when he saw this yesterday, he was flipping. He goes, why did you use that picture of me? I look fat. And like, his wife was like, Jory, you need to stop. She said they went to the beach for her daughter's birthday on December the 16th. I'm taping this on Christmas Eve 2025, by the way. And she said some dude complimented him and said, man, you're massive. How much can you bench? Ooh, and he was losing it. He was like, no, why did he call me massive? Why is he so fascinated if he's skinny or fat? We don't knock each other's weight in here, you know what I mean? So this is the Emperor from the food one, some kind of lobster. All right, we're gonna keep it moving as fast as I can go. The Hierophant, which has to do with the institution, government, and so on. So this has like a bishop or something, and like the priest below are bowing down to him, yada yada. So what did I do for my Hierophant? I did sourdough. Turn it that way. I did sourdough starter and the sourdough bread, okay? Because this is tradition that's handed down. And on the jar of the sourdough starter, I put 888 because those are my favorite numbers. I just kind of threw that in there. So that's the Hierophant for me. And for them, it's some type of lasagna. I guess that's could be a family meal handed down. And then I'm going to cover up these two naked people for the lovers. Is this the lovers? Yeah. Let me cover them up. That's the Rider-Waite, the lovers. And it just has two people, that could possibly be in love or whatever. Look what I did. Look what I did. Look what I did. I'm so proud of myself. At first, I was going to do corned beef and white rice because I had the picture already. But only Caribbean people would understand that. And I want everybody to understand. So I did. What did I do, guys? P, V, and J. Now, this is one of the cards that had a problem. And if you could see right here on the edge, a little bit of white strip going on. And I was so panicked because I'm like, because when they reached out to me and they're like, oh, you have this white thing going on. I'm like, oh my God, is it all the cards? How am I going to go fix all these cards? Because I have guides and rulers set up, yada, yada. So when Josh and I went into the program last night and opened the project, we saw the little bit of white that didn't quite touch that one line for the guides and rulers. So I just kind of pulled it and now it's fixed for when I order again. But see this background right here? This is a piece of just contact paper that I bought to put like in the drawers and stuff, and I didn't end up using it. So I use it as a background. Doesn't it look good? It looks kind of beachy, right? So I had to find all types of stuff to do as background, And I made the bread from scratch, and I just poured that jelly and peanut butter onto it. So that's what I did for the lovers. Next one is the Chariot. And what I notice about the Chariot when I'm looking at the tarot readers, they have the sphinxes kind of lying down, like it's not going anywhere. So the Chariot is kind of going somewhere, but you're going to have to motivate yourself to move it. You know what I mean? Kind of like Flintstones. So what I did was I used a truck my husband made from scratch, and I put it in the backyard, and we had the pumpkin. Remember, we grew 2 pumpkins. Well, you might not know this for the other channel. We grew 2 pumpkins for the first time this year, and it grew so rapidly. It was amazing. So I put it right in front of the pumpkin. See the green pumpkin back there? It didn't change color yet. That's the truck he made. And then some of the fruits are real fruits. Some of them are fake fruits. I don't remember which is which. I think the apples were fake. The lemon might be real. Something like that. Doesn't matter. The grapes are fake for sure in the back. But my son Joshua bought me 2 sphinxes off of Amazon. And I tied it onto the truck, and the sphinxes are pulling the thing. So I tried to keep it that way, right? So for the lovers, the food one put pretzel with chocolate and stuff. And then I love their one for the Chariot. I love it. But I couldn't find any person selling food in town where I could go take a picture of their cart. And then Josh was like, that's not really a chariot though, mommy. That's more like a carriage type thing. Just, you don't have to copy them. So the next one is this for strength. I had a hard time coming up with an idea for strength because I thought it was brute force, that type of strength, but it's that quiet inner strength. When I went to go look up the meaning, I looked up the meaning for a lot of these things, so so I could do it properly, right? So it always has like a young girl taming a lion, and then it has the infinity sign in there too. So notice that's strength for the Rider-Waite, and then strength for the food one. I don't know what that is. So just keep it moving. If I don't know what it is, keep it moving. Look at the strength for mine. My hand kneading dough, but not just my hand kneading dough, my hand messy kneading dough. And then I have the lion. See, I put the lion in there. And then I have the infinity sign. I put it on my apron right there in the picture. in the editing. And this is hard for me to get a good picture of my hands because if I'm not drinking enough water, they tend to look old. We're just keeping it real over here, right? So I put on the same kind of nail polish that I have on right now, light pink, almost towards clear. And I really feel like my hand rested correctly where I could feel that, because it takes a lot of strength to knead, especially being that I have shoulder pain. It's like, so I really grasp this card, I believe, me personally. The Hermit has this guy with a lantern, and in a lot of the other cards that I see, ones that I've shown you here before, they have a snake in there somewhere, right? But this one doesn't have the snake. It's just the Hermit with the lantern. For them, they put something, some kind of leaf, a lily or something. I don't know what the heck that is. But for mine, I did a pot of stew, beef stew, because like when I'm in my hermit mode, you know, when I'm like, oh, life is so hard. I don't want to continue, you know, with this hard life. No, I'm not talking about unalive. I'm talking about I need to do something different with my life. I tend to want soup, and beef soup is my go-to thing. So I did a pot of beef stew, and then I had these lanterns, and let me tell you something. This one in the back did not want to light up. It needed fresh batteries. And I just said, okay, I'm just going to put it back there, not lit, because the other one is lit with real fire because it uses oil, right? Oil lantern. I made the snake from a calzone bread dough. See? I put the little tongue. What did I put for the tongue? Apple skin for the red tongue for the snake. Right when I took the picture, the lantern lit up. Julie, I swear to you, I'm talking to Julie because she's the one that's helping me through this. I was like, oh, you can't tell me the Holy Spirit's not involved in this for people who think this is of the devil. We don't deal in darkness. Are you kidding? So the next one is the Wheel of Fortune, and I don't know, that looks like a compass to me for the Rider-Waite. And for them, I like their one, like a big restaurant type thing where the food's going by, like on a like turnstile type thing. But for me, I just used a round cutting board that's, you know, the Lazy Susan one. I used one of those, and I put every food that I could find that day on the thing for the Wheel of Fortune. And the backstory about this is some of the crackers were like a year old. So after I used them and spread the cheese and stuff on it, the cream cheese, I just threw it out. The chips and stuff were fresh. Jada had that day. The strawberries were fresh. She had that day. She had just bought a batch of cookies from Costco for the chocolate chip cookies. She bought that little piece of cheesecake from Aldi's or whatever. And so I put that in there, and I was praying flies wouldn't pitch on anything to make Jada can't eat her food when I'm done with it. And I cut up some carrots. And the main thing about it, this apple, you see how it's sliced kind of funny? It's not sitting on its side, it's sitting on its bottom. It was rotted. Halfway from the bottom to the middle, it was rotted. But I sliced it that way that nobody would know. So when I pulled the card, I know that it was a struggle to make these cards for me, because financially, I didn't have it within means to buy all these foods to do these cards. And so that's why towards the end, you're going to see that I used a lot of pictures that I had before from my cookbook, all right? So I have all these dish towels and stuff that I never use for dishes. They always use as props. And if you notice, a lot of the time you see a white tablecloth or a black tablecloth, and that's what I use as my base. So that's the Wheel of Fortune, okay? Justice has somebody sitting on a throne like a judge for the Rider-Waite, right? You see that? That's their Justice. Okay, and their Justice, I liked their idea of Justice. They did the scales, right? I loved it, loved it, loved it. If you notice, their scales are even, right? They're even because justice is supposed to be fair, but we all know that justice isn't fair. So when I looked up the meaning of justice for the tarot, it says it's supposed to be a little bit off balance because you're going to try to put it in balance. That's what justice is about, is to put equity in balance, right? So I was going to buy this gold scale off of Amazon, kind of like the Sphinxes, and just put some candies, maybe 2 different type of candies in the scale. But then I didn't have the money. So my husband says, I can make it for you. And he found scrap wood from the backyard, and he did this like within an hour. This just made me cry because this was the last card that I took for the deck. And the last picture that I took for the deck. And for him to just make it, and the pumpkin came to fruition at that time. It took 90 days for the pumpkin to come to fruition. And it took me 60 days to take these pictures, right? So look at the pumpkin in the back, and then I put whatever Jada had, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. Is that blackberries? Yeah, blackberries and raspberries. And look how pretty that scale came out. And it's a little bit off. When I took the picture and it was perfectly balanced, ChatGPT says, no, put it out of balance slightly, because justice is about putting things in balance. I'll never forget the meaning of this card, guys. Never, ever, ever, ever. All right, the Hanged Man. They usually have a man hanging upside down for the new perspective, right? In the Rider-Waite. They usually have it that way. This one, they have like, I think this is fish, but I don't know why it look like rats hanging upside down for them. So it's about upside down. Wait till you see my hangman. I am so proud of this. This vegetable is called callaloo. It's a Caribbean thing. It's, you know, Belize, Jamaica, all over the Caribbean. And we had some, this year we had a large harvest. And so I just cut 3 bunches and I put a line from the fence to the tree that's in the middle of my yard. And I positioned the wheelbarrow to make that papa red. And it took me a while to get this shot because the dog kept running in between the callaloo because the line was low, okay? I just love this. I just love this because callaloo is so healthy for you. I don't like it, but it's so healthy for you, right? So Death, they have a man, armored man, look, a skeleton riding on a horse into town, right? That's Death. And death doesn't mean actual physical death. Most of the time it's a transformation. Their death, I don't know what this is. Like, it looks like rice, but did the rice go bad? I don't know what that means for them, right? I'm only showing you the Rider-Waite and the food one because, you know, the food one has to do with food, and I stayed close to the Rider-Waite meaning. So for Death, I used a picture that I had already from one of my cookbooks. And this fish is actually cooked, but it just looks dead, you know? But it's popping. So that's what I used for Death. And then for Temperance, at first for Temperance, I had 2 plates of food. One like sweet and sour chicken, and the other one was garden salad. And it's like showing like a balance, right? Because Temperance is about a balance, right? And but when I checked again, I saw in every card that I was reading from, it shows they're pouring something from one jar to the next to try to balance it out. When we had our shop, we used to print for a company where we had to have a measure line. We printed a measure line on, and it had to be perfectly at the correct spot. And so I would have to be the one to measure, and I kept throwing out water and measuring, and I just went back to that. So I went back to my sourdough starters, and I just poured sourdough starter from one jar into the next to put something into balance, like Temperance, right? That's what I did for that one. So for the Devil, oh, let me cover them people up. Creepy looking devil, right? But the Devil is about indulgence. Oh, this is their Temperance. They're pouring from one jar to the next also, okay? They got the memo. And this is their Devil. I guess because, you know, the pot is hot, you know, whatever, fire, right? Fire. For my Devil, you're gonna love this one. I picked up on the indulgence part of the Devil. Look at that. That is so freaking indulgent. 3 big pieces of brownie with ice cream on top. And that's real ice cream, by the way. That is not, what do they call the thing? Cauliflower that they use for ice cream, or potatoes sometimes they use for ice cream in photo shoots. I use real food, guys. Real food. So that's mine. I had that in a book already too, so that was not, you know, a picture that I had to retake. And then for the Tower, make sure nobody's naked. They're all falling out of the tower because it's about chaos and stuff. I used to be afraid of this card, but my friend Judy says, this is not the most scary card, girl. This is not the most scary card. This is about when things collapse, you can build back from the rubble. You know, so I really liked that meaning. They have like sandwiches that are leaning, like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, right? So for me, I did cake. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4 cakes at a time when I'm broke. And I put those flowers from my son's wedding cake that he did. He had some leftover flowers. And I don't really know how to decorate frosting to make it pretty, so I did it messy. And I put some coloring on the outside part, and I just raked a tool through it, a ham serving tool. And that's what I did. The cakes are collapsing. And I put like skewers and toothpick and sticks to hold it up like that. So I like this one a lot. And so let's go to the Star. I'm going to cover this naked person up, right, from the Rider-Waite. That's the Star. And then for them, I don't know what this is. I mean, I know what the food is, but it doesn't go for the Star for me. So for me, I baked sugar cookies, which I never baked before. I had to go find a recipe. I did a donut I did like the Milky Way, like the galaxy, okay? So I did different decorations for the stars, and I had one big one, and I had to like, it was hard to draw a star. It's hard. The points are, I was like, how many points does the star have? So that's the donut. That's the star, and I put it on a black background, and I did sprinkles and everything to make it look like our Milky Way. Star. So I love how that one came out too. I'm in love with my cards, guys. The moon. Every time I hear about the moon in tarot, I think about dogs howling at the moon, and that's the Rider-Waite thing with, you know, lobster coming out the ocean, yada yada. They did a croissant for a crescent moon. That's a great idea. But I did moon pies, and it was hard to find these darn moon pies. And then a friend of mine, when I first started the show, had sent me stuff from New Orleans, for Mardi Gras, the Mardi Gras type thing. And I had some left over. And so I put those masks because they look eerie, you know, because the moon is about hidden stuff, right? And the stuff might come out, the secrets might come out. And you see how I have all these dish towels to go? And see, I use the black tablecloth again. And sometimes when I use the black tablecloth, it would have like lint and stuff on it, and I have to like edit that out, the darn picture. Girl, it was hard. And let me cover this little naked baby for the sun. Rider-Waite sun. And then their sun, I kind of got an idea from them for my sun. And this is my sun. And I don't know how to really do great white balance when I'm taking pictures, because that's a whole meter thing I have to buy, yada, yada, yada. So it has like a little blue hue over it, but my daughter loves it. She goes, I really feel like it works for tarot. So that's my sun. The sunny side up egg with all the breakfast stuff going on in the background. See? And I pick, choose, and refuse. This is pineapple juice, not orange juice, because I didn't have oranges or orange juice. And then I put a pineapple serving thingy, spreader. See, I look into the details of when I'm doing my stuff, right? And then the skillet is sitting on a pineapple cutting board that my son brought me back from Hawaii when he took a trip recently. And I even have like a teapot back there that you can't see. I mean, I put a lot of things. I think card readers will pick up on everything that I put in there. Judgment. Let me hide all these naked dead people. I'm glad I don't have to use this deck anymore. Once I'm done going through the whole set of cards, I'm not using this deck on camera, because it has too much naked people. I'm going to get in trouble with YouTube. So for their judgment, they have like breads baking, and I guess it's being judged, right? For a contest. For mine, I did a beautiful cake, and I had my son Joshua play the role of a judge. And he had a little clipboard there, a book, whatever, and he's judging me while I'm putting the finishing touches on the cake. We did this in the backyard right on the same day Gary came to visit, and I had to go open the front door and go, come, we're taking a picture for the tarot deck. Gary will remember this one. This one was so spur of the moment, right before the sun went down, yada, yada. I really feel like this came out nice. So then the world, Lady Naked again. And the world is about completion, success, yada, 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 right? The Rider-Waite. The world, they have a lot of different foods. I'm with that. So I did a lot of different foods. And this is the one that came out the worst. But we already found how to just drag the image a little bit more towards that line that I told you guys about, the guides and rulers. So this is also fixed for the next go around. This is what they were tripping about, right? That white line. It doesn't bug me, but if I'm selling them, it'll bug me. But for me to use, it doesn't bug me. And this is what's on my cover. That's the one I chose for the cover. Okay? And it has a lot of different, some of the cakes I made, some of them were cookies Jada had. I have a fresh garden salad cake. I think it was orange juice at this time. I think I did have, no, it was kombucha. It was kombucha at this time. And cupcake, panades. You know, you might know it as empanada, but Belizeans say panades. Just all type of food. And you see this blue checkered thing in the back? That's one of my yard chairs, my backyard chairs. I didn't want for you guys to see that pumpkin patch again when I took the picture, so I told you, put that chair right there. And it just looked like a lattice top something. That was just like really, really spur of the moment, and it worked. So we're in the suits, Ace of Wands, right? Ace of Wands. Okay. So it just has a hand holding up like a club, right, for this. And oh, look at their Ace of Wands. I don't know what that is. I really don't know what that is. So for mine, I did a challah bread. And I plaited it so beautifully. And I put a filter on it to make it look like fire, 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 fire. Right? Ace of Wands. I hope you guys don't mind that I'm going to be going through my whole deck because you didn't see all the other cards from the other suits yet, the way I've been going through. You know, so, oh, my battery's going to die. Let me stop and change my battery, and then we're going to pick up where we left off. Okay, guys, I'm back. So let's go to the next one, the Two of Wands, and it just has this guy standing there with the poles next to him or whatever. And the Two of Wands is about crossroads. That's when I looked up the meaning. That's what I saw. They have the chopsticks here with the noodles. I kind of like that too. But for me, I did baguette bread because I'm really good at making bread. And I twisted the dough before it baked to make it look like a crossroads. This is the one that also has the blue hue because of the white tablecloth in the back, and I couldn't do great white balance as a photographer, as an amateur photographer. But my daughter, again, absolutely loves it. It didn't offend me because I know my abilities and my inabilities. So I like this one. See it? Baguette bread, crossroads, right? So the next one is the Three of Wands. And it's about expansion. When I think about the Three of Wands from the meanings I've seen, it's like you're looking at your ranch, your estate, and everything that you've planted. And you're looking like, okay, I've got oranges there, and I've got beans there, and I'm going to expand. That's how I feel when I hear about the Three of Wands. So he's looking out the horizon at his property, right? To me, that's what he's doing. So I put 3 ears of corn, and I did elote, like the Mexican corn where you put the mayonnaise and the cheese and stuff on the corn. But I did it only on one side of each corn, and I left the other side blank because I wasn't sure how the picture was going to look. And after I took the picture with all 3 in a row, dressed up with the things on it, I didn't like it. It just looked kind of like... it didn't pop. So I turned one of the corns around where you just saw that it was corn, right? Because when you look at it, it's like, what the hell is that? Is that corn? And you can see through the ears of corn. I cut off the bottom to make them stand flat. And I put the black tablecloth on a white plate. And I put a tablecloth that looks like colorful stuff in it. Not a tablecloth, a dish towel. But when you look through these ears of corn, you can see the pumpkin patch that we were growing with the grapefruit tree. And it's just like blurred in the background. And I have a lens that blur things out. And I just will never forget the Three of Wands. Expansion, growth, you know. So that's my Three of Wands. I just love the background on this one. So thank you for indulging me in, for their Three of Wands. For the food they put like andouille sausages, which I was all too willing to do but couldn't afford. So then the Four of Wands is reaping your good rewards of success. So that's the Four of Wands, right? For the Rider-Waite. For their food one, they have some type of, it looks like pig in a blanket or something, right? Celebration. For mines, Joe made these pork chops that one day. And Jada had a bunch of stuff again she bought. Like luxury things, like a coffee cake from Costco. And I made some cookies. I made some sugar cookies with icing to do another card that's going to come up, I think the 7 of Swords. And so I had made some heart-shaped one. And so I just cut up vegetables around it. The 4 for the pork chops, the fries, the coffee cake, the grapes, the cookies, everything like that. And I put it on this kneading bowl that I had, and I put it right there in the kitchen window because I had lost all the sun that day. And I took the shot. Over here I had Jello pudding that kind of got cut off, but that's okay. I knew some of the stuff was going to be cut off. But this is all about a celebration, so it looks like a celebratory table, right? So that's my Four of Wands, and of course the pork chops are the ones. So the Five of Wands is about conflict, bickering, ego, discontent. And if you notice, all these zoos are fighting with their clubs, right? For the Rider-Waite. And then for theirs, I guess the stuff that you're doing for fondue or whatever, sticking in the hot thing. So that makes a little bit of sense. For me, I made fruit kebabs, and Joe had some foam that came in a box of, not styrofoam, but like some really soft foam that came in a box of something he bought. And I just stood them up and put them together like that. And so that's my Five of Wands, where they're bickering and fighting, you know? And see some drop to the ground because they're fighting. These pretty green ones are candied cherries and candied, they're both candied cherries, the green and the red, that we put on top of our black fruit cakes at this time of the year. So I really feel like this came out good. I did this one morning early. We closed the curtains in the living room. The living room got dark and the camera blurred out everything, and that's what we got. So sometimes we were just kind of lucky to get some stuff, you know. So 6 of Wands is about victory and being like if you won something and you're being recognized and stuff like that for what you won. See, the guy is riding in and he has that laurel wreath on his head, right? I had to go look up all that stuff to see what the significance was. So that's the Rider-Waite. For them, for the 6 of Wands, they put like lamb chops, but they look like they're fighting more, right? They don't look happy, right? Like celebratory. So for my 6 of Wands, I had a picture that I took already for one of my books, and I didn't use that shot because I take a lot of shots and sometimes I don't use most of them. I ended up using a different, same type of setting, but a different one of the pictures. And because I was looking away from the camera in this picture, I did a beautiful cake. Well, I think I had the cake already in this picture. We had just finished building our brand new kitchen. So I put 6 candles, edited 6 candles in from Canva, right? And then on the cake, I put the laurel wreath. See that? Some sharp-eyed tarot reader, if they buy my deck, will see that. So I'm being recognized for my achievements, you know, not I per se, but the person's being recognized for their achievements. And yeah, everything in there for the 6 of Wands, celebration. And then the 7 of Wands right here, it's about competition, challenge, staying focused, don't give up. So that's what I don't know what I had for the 7 of Wands for me. We'll see right now. Okay. And it's about defending yourself. The 7 of Wands is also about defending yourself. This is their 7 of Wands, looks like carrots. Don't understand, don't get it. If I don't get it, I'll just move on. For my 7 of Wands, I did kebabs again, but I did it with like peppers and shrimp and beef and stuff. And you have this one kebab that's defending itself against all these other kebabs. And so for this one, I had to edit in the tip of this kebab back here because it was hidden. And I wanted all the tips to show because I want you to be able to count that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then one in the middle, 7. So that's what I did for the 7 of Wands. That one kebab is defending itself, okay? And I think I took this outside in the front yard, and the camera blurred out the trees from green to almost black. This one was kind of hard for me to do, but I took this picture outside. This is the 8 of Wands, and this is about fast acting, things moving fast, right? See, the arrows are being shot in the air, right there, right there, right there. That's the Rider-Waite. Let's look at theirs. I mean, yeah. All right. My 8 of Wands, I'm so biased right now. So I put these breadsticks on wire, and I had Joe hold it up. And I shot right up into the sky in the front of my yard. These 2 are 2 palm trees right here. They're very significant because they were on fire. The top part of the palm trees were on fire in 2002, July the 4th, when my Uncle Les passed away. We came home from a party, and that top of that was on fire. They saved the tree. The fire company came, saved the trees. But they grew back on the top part too, the leaves and stuff. But it's so significant to me, because I know what those palm trees are about. We almost lost them completely. And then I used the editing program. Right here is the tops of the trees for my neighbor. I used the editing program to make it look like they're on fire. I love this one because it took a lot of editing. So then the 9 of Wands, it's about facing challenges has made you stronger, take time. It's about recovery, about resting and recovery. The 9 of Wands for the Rider-Waite. And they just put some fries for theirs. I guess the fries are resting. Let's see what I did for mine. Okay, so resting for me involves soup all the time. So I made like clam chowder, and I made those thick breadsticks to go with it because that's what I would do if I were resting and recovering from something, from sickness, from, you know, spiritual battle, whatever it is. Girl, that's what I'll be doing, eating that. So that's why I did that. So then this is the 10 of Wands, right? 10 of Wands, and it's about a struggle, right? The Rider-Waite. It's about, you see how those sticks are? For them, for the food one, they did some breadsticks too. I get it. Because I did breadsticks myself, right? But look what I did. The black tablecloth came out kind of blue with the hue in the backyard late in the evening, right before the sun set. And I just tied up the breadsticks with a rubber band. And Don't it look like that? Don't it? Don't it? Man, I did it. I done did it, governor. So the Page of Wands, for me, Page is always about a young child under 10. So that's their Page of Wands, right? So for me, oh, let me do theirs. See what they did? Like Christmas time, candy cane stuff. I love this one from them. This is what I did, because it's Christmas time right now and I'm doing the cards too, right? So I did the little Christmas snowman mug. I have Kit Kat chocolate that I had to like rub out the Kit Kat name so I wouldn't put people's brand in my thing and get in trouble. I made some short churros. I used a pretty colorful table, I keep saying tablecloth, but they're dish towels. And I put this on this brown, oh my God, if you see how crappy this brown thing looks in real life, I think I have it outside to show you guys. But I got the best spot on it. And I put marshmallows and chocolate and stuff. So this is the Page of Wands for mine. Comment below if you guys are liking my card so far, guys. The Knight of Wands, about the Knight charging in. And this Knight is a positive, happy move, adventure, excitement, travel. And so their Knight of Wands is, I don't know. You tell me if you know, I don't know. My Knight of Wands, I did French fries. And I have that one French fries as that Knight charging in. It's about fire and excitement and adventure and new things. The citrus, you know, the lime and stuff is about that. And that wasn't really lime, it was lemon, but it wasn't ripe yet. We stole it from the people's backyard. It was hard to make that cone out of paper. That crap's harder than you think. So I put a piece of banana there and some hot chili peppers because the Knight of Wands is hot. Like chili. But see that Knight charging in, that one French fry? Yeah. Some of it I had to really become inventive and innovative, okay? Queen of Wands, you see her sitting here on her throne. And she is about loyalty, good fortune, endeavors. The Wands are all about fire. So for their Queen of Wands, they did some type of enchiladas or burrito or something, right? So I went along that same vein and I did my fiery hot enchiladas. In Belize, it's enchiladas. In Mexico, it's, no, in Belize, it's enchiladas. In Mexico, it's enchiladas, right? So a little bit different. So green salsa, the red background, and girl, it was hard not making this thing look like a bunch of dog food. But I did it. I posed it really, really good. So then the King of Wands, he's sitting on his throne again. He's about leadership, success, yada, yada, blah, 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 right? For this one. For their one, they did some kind of, I guess that meat on a stick that you would be slicing off the meat or something. You know, like you go to one of those Brazilian restaurants. For mine, I did a slab of steak that Joe bought that day. And it's the same corn from the other picture. But by then it was going bad. So it was slimy on the bottom. So I had to rinse it off real well. Stick it right next to Joe's meat. And this was actually on the barbecue grill. And the smoke is legit smoke. It's not edited in smoke. I don't know how I did that, but I did it. I did it, okay? So then the Ace of Cups. Every time I see the Ace of Cups, it's about overpouring into the cup. So theirs didn't overpour. Theirs is pretty, but didn't overpour. So I made sure I overpoured mine, and it was hard to do. I did it right in this little office space. I put sugar and stuff in behind, and cookie crackers and cheese and gold spoon, yada yada. And I have these pretty tea sets from what a friend gave me, and it was hard to get that shot where it was overpouring, because right when it starts to overpour, you gotta get that shot. I took a lot of shots, you know, kai, while it was trying to overpour, but then I got it, right? So that's the Ace of Wands. I mean, not Wands, Cups, Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups. It's about a partnership there, see? Right away. And for theirs, I like it. I like the wine glass, the Ace of Cups. So it's kind of like the Lovers. So we had a dog that we had for 10 years. Her name was Wednesday. We called her Wenny. And we took a picture of her for one of my books where I'm handing her like 2 parfait cups. And she was just like, oh, for me? Because, you know, labs love to eat. And so this one is not of the same lab that you saw in the full picture. This is a different lab. And this was like when she was probably 7 years old. We took this picture. Yeah. I feel like I needed to put her in there because she passed away last year. Hard. So the Three of Cups is about celebration, right? For the Rider-Waite. For them, they had 3 shrimp on the cocktail thing. That's a celebration. That works. For me, I put these 3 teacups that me, my husband, and my daughter won at a singing thing. and I just made a big party scene. And I set up 2 tables for the party scene to make it look like it was a real backyard party, not just one table shot, right? I have that table off in the background and this chair that my husband made, this blue chair, and sandwiches and fruits, and just a party. It's pretty much a party. The 4 of Cups is about apathy. That's the first thing I remember about apathy. It's like this guy is so depressed and out of it that he walked away from 3 cups and he didn't even realize that they were handing him another cup. Like he's so out of it, right? So for their 4 of Cups, they put ramen noodles. Okay, that works. For mine, I had Joe I used Joe as my talent, you know, without you really seeing who it is. And I have 3 cups full with niceties and 1 cup over there full with niceties. But he's so bored, apathetic, and out of it that he's not even seeing all these beautiful things he can have. So I did that. I think I captured that too. And then the 5 of Cups is about sadness, hopelessness, heartbreak, disappointment. See, the guy just looks depressed from the Rider-Waite. And for this one, I noticed that a lot of the other people who make tarot cards, they have 3 of the cups. Is that the cup? Oh yeah, see? 3 of the cups are tossed to the ground and 2 are standing up in there. You see that? 3 are tossed to the ground and 2 are standing up. So I did the same thing. See, they did the same thing on theirs. 3 flipped over and 2 standing up. I did the same thing on mine. I have 3 empty cups on a beautiful noir background and 2 with ramen noodles in there. I love this one. Joshua loved this one the best. Okay, where am I at? Okay, we're at the 6 of Cups, and this is about nostalgia, going back to your childhood, emotions renewed, finding happiness, yada yada, right? For the Rider-Waite. I keep saying yada yada. For theirs, I like their nostalgia, you know, milkshakes and stuff. I love theirs. So I did a little spin on that for mine. Okay? Self-explanatory. In childhood, we had oatmeals. We had oatmeal. That's oatmeal back there. We have like a milkshake thing back there. And then cupcake and the waffle cone. And, you know, pretty much this is what we got in our childhood, right? So that's the 6 of Cups. The 7 of Cups is about illusion, delusion, right? That's what I remember about it. So a lot of things might look good when you're looking at it greedily. And then you have a snake there in one of the cups. It's like, ooh, what the heck? Pick wisely, right? So this is their 7 of Cups. I don't see any of the illusion, delusion, but it's a pretty card, right? For mine, I did like brownie with ice cream, snow cone, watermelon cut up, pudding, like a hot chocolate drink, a custard in the back, but right in the middle I have a rotted plantain. So that's the illusion, delusion. See the rotted plantain right there? When I first did the picture, I had a rotted banana, but the picture didn't come out good. So I changed some of the food. Some of the foods didn't come out good, and Jory would have to edit too much. So I think the snow cone color didn't come out good. I had to make it a darker blue or something when I made my syrup. So I redid the picture. So you notice all the black tablecloth again, the checkered. And that's the illusion, is that rotted plantain. Like I said, the first time I did it was a banana. Potato, potato. And then the 8 of Cups is about walking away from what no longer serves you. So that's their card. And then this is their card. Don't know, don't know, don't know. Keep it moving. Me, I went to the nature center again, another day. And I had Joe walk away, but I messed up on this card. I fixed it, so the next run is going to be fixed. You should see 8 cups down here, but I only have 6 cups down here because this word is covering it. So I moved the picture up slightly. And now you'll see the 8 cups when I print it again. But that's Joe walking away into the horizon for the 8 of Cups. Okay, so it's 3 cards that I had to fix, but they didn't alert me to that because they didn't know about what I wanted. They're just looking at bleed lines and stuff like that, right? So then the 9 of Cups is about abundance, and that you have so much abundance that you can share some of your abundance with others, right? So that's their 9 of Cups. Pretty cute, right? So my 9 of Cups, I did my abundance, and I did have a picture where I had Joe or Jada pick one, like they're sharing one with people, but it didn't come out good. So I just went with that. The 9 of Cups is just about sharing the wealth, abundance, right? Just a lot of different, I had fruit, I had fruit cocktail, strawberries, grapes, ice cream with cookies, ice cream brownie, this, that, no. You saw that, right? Now the Ten of Cups, I really wanted to do this justice because every time I see this, I get happy because it's about abundance and happy families and so on and so on. And they always have the cups above and it looks like a rainbow, right? So I wanted to implement that rainbow in mind. This is theirs. This is their Ten of Cups. It's too confusing for me. So I went ahead and I did different colored gelatin. And I'm not going to say Jello because I can't afford Jello, girl. And I put it like this. Look it. Look it. I'm so happy with how this came out. Wonderful. Ten of Cups. Then the Ace of Cups. Not the Ace, the Page. Page of Cups. Again, little kid. So you're going to see what I did with mine. So they did like hot chocolate with marshmallow. Like that. Love that. Love that. Love that. I did that. Pretty polka dot cup. M&M's, ice cream, chocolate, the cookie, you know, stuff like that. So this is the Page of Cups for me. Pretty self-explanatory. Then the Knight of Cups is about romance, traveling, stuff like that. So that's their Knight, of course, for the Rider-Waite. That's their Knight. I like that they use that coffee cup and put that horse. I like that. I really like that. But for me, I did this one night on the stove. This is not really hot chocolate. This is a drink that I love, which is Milo. And I put the little mini marshmallows and I put the cup, see, and I think the lighting was perfect for that romance and charm for the Knight of Cups. So then the Queen of Cups, I'm going to try to speed it up, guys. So she's just sitting on her throne. This is about creativity and intuition and stuff like that. So their one is some type of that bread, you know, that bread where you put the soup inside the bread. So mine, I did custard, which is my favorite comfort food. And I implemented everything to do with the sea or the ocean and chocolate and everything that's that sweet, quiet, strong charm, right? But not overpowering. And I put it on a mirror and I put the mirror outside in the beautiful sunlight. So the clouds are in the mirror. See? And all these sea things that you, except for the chain, but these things here that you see, the seashells and stuff, my friend Julie sent it all the way from where she lives in Massachusetts for me. And then I had that little bitty purple cup. And I picked this flower on the way on my walk one day and to take the picture. So I, you know, picked the flower purposely to take the picture that day. So that's my Queen of Cups. Then the King of Cups here, it's about giving your love and attention freely, right? The King of Cups, that's what it says here, right? So they did like some kind of seafood, right? So I did some seafood too. And I put, I feel like that's what the King of Cups would be eating, man. You know what I mean? Put all the citrus around it. And if you notice, their King of Cups have, where is it at? They have some kind of fish on one of them. Oh, the thing around his neck, the chain around his neck has a fish on it, right? So me, I put goldfish. Ah, ha, 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 ha. And I just colored this water. This is not gelatin. I just colored the water. All this stuff is from my friend Julie, that claw, that thing. I had to put her in here. So we're in the swords. We only have 2 more suits left. And then tomorrow, or when I tape again, I'm going to pick up on the suits again so we could stay in sequence, okay? So the Ace of Swords, they just have a hand holding the sword, right? For the Rider-Waite. And I like what they did with this olive right here. So I kind of stole the idea and I did it with ice pick and I did it with watermelon. Because it was summertime, we had watermelon. And this table that you see in some of the pictures that look weather beaten, it's in the front of my house and it looks like crap, but it works for pictures, right? I might show you some of those things. OMG, wait till you see the 2 of Swords. I am so tickled about this. The girl with the blindfolds, we went over this already in one of the other videos, the 2 swords, yada yada, right? And theirs, I like theirs too, with the thing across the toast like that. I like theirs. Remember I think we went over this like 2 videos ago. Look at mine. La 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 la. Beautiful noir background. It's a gingerbread man cookie and I had to trace that sucker out on parchment paper to cut that boy like that. And I put a band over its eyes and then I put the knives. I love my 2 of Swords. 3 of Swords, my friend Julie says this is the worst card in the deck for her. She hates it. It's with the knives or the swords going through the heart. They put knives going through a peach. Absolutely love their card also, but I love mine better because I actually made a heart cake, made fake blood out of Karo syrup and dye and all type of stuff, and I put 3 knives. And you know what? It's hard to find different knives in the one household. Who has different sets of knives, right? So, but I have different sets of knives because I collect stuff because I do a whole cooking show. Back here, I made a paper flower out of toilet paper, because that's what we used to make wreaths out of when people passed away back in Belize when I was a little kid. We all sat down and folded toilet paper and tied it together, opened it up, and we made paper flowers. So I did that. I did that because I feel like this is the minor arcana card for death. I really do feel that. What am I doing? Oh, I should have put that here. So then the Four of Swords, it's about rest is needed, recovery, right? So see them swords hanging over that man there on the bed. And for theirs, they did some sandwiches. I did like a tea setting, and I had a charcuterie thing that somebody gave Jada, and it had different serving things in there, and I thought that was cool, and it had 4. So that's what I did for my 4 swords, okay? So then the 5 of Swords is about fighting, but it's about, to me, the 5 of Swords, when I looked up the meaning, they said it's kind of like if 2 people are fighting, they're arguing, and it's a big battle, a big mess, and in the end, nobody really won, right? In the end. So this is theirs, some dumpling, right? Look at mine. I did a big dinner because Jada had some dinner left over, and I made up, these things in the background are some tiles that you print pictures on that we used to do for selling things, you know, when we used to do print work. And I put all these knives from another set that my friend Jessica had given me when, you know, she moved away. This is from her grandma. Her grandma and I used to be friends. And I bit into the meat. So it gives you the feel that 2 people were sitting down having dinner, and then an argument started, but not the kind of argument where like knives out, we're going to stab each other, but the kind of argument where we're like, you know, you never do this for me, and blah, 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 and see the paper tissue is thrown there at the plate and yada, yada. So this is that kind of a fight. 5 of Swords, okay? Let's see. I love my 6 of, my daughter came if you hear noise. My 6 of Swords, this is moving on to calmer waters, right? See, the man has his family on the boat and all his swords are standing there if he needs to do battle again. So I did this one. Well, let me show you theirs first, the food one. I don't understand it. I don't see any swords there. I made a paper boat. I used to know how to make paper boat when I was little, so I had to remember. Put marshmallows and candy and stuff and cheese in there to stick some toothpick. And I did, slam the door so hard. I did a table, a place setting, right? It's blue, so it looks like water. I did some sea salt, and I kind of crumpled up the cloth to make it look like waves. Moving the calmer waters, guys. I love this one. This is, to me, the prettiest card in my deck. So then the 7 of Swords, the guy is stealing 5 of the swords and leaving 2 behind, right? And theirs, they did pizza slices. Okay. This is what I did those sugar cookies for. And I had a better shot of it, but Joshua was only stealing 1, right? And then I went back and I go, nah, you got to steal the 5, Josh. So I did this like 2 days later, and I really prayed that the cookies would have still looked as pretty as they did the first day. And they did. He's stealing 5 swords, see? Right there. So the 7 of Swords is about, is it 7? No, the 8, I'm sorry. 8 of Swords is about self-imposed restrictions. This girl is bounded, but she did it herself, right? So they did some type of cheese thingy here, right? I don't know if you see theirs because I'm not checking. So I did, Joe was doing a rotisserie that day, Joe, my husband. And so I got a good shot at the rotisserie because it's self-imposed. We tied it up, right? Because you have to tie it up to rotisserie it in a little toaster oven. And I put those 8 knives from Canva in there, right? So I like this one. This was kind of a hard one to edit all those knives because they kept moving out of place. But I got a good shot of that. And then for the 9 of Swords, which is about anxiety and nightmares and sleepless nights and stuff like that. See, he's getting up, he's having anxiety. They did chili peppers. Don't know why. Don't know why they did that. So I went in my room, closed the curtains, and then I put the toothpick from the 6 of Swords behind me as a backdrop. So I put a black background in the editing, put the toothpicks in the editing one at a time. No, I took them all as a shot together on a thing. And then I just put my head in my hand like I'm having such bad anxiety. And then I have a drink of my Milo drink that I like. It looks like hot chocolate. And I just put the pillow over my lap, and it's just like sleepless nights, anxiety. Don't they look alike? Girl, you know I be doing it. So then the Ten of Swords is about being stabbed in the back. See the guys being stabbed in the back. That's what I think of when I hear the Ten of Swords. And by the way, this is the first picture I took for the deck. They have stabbing into a stake, right? This is the first picture I took for the deck. Then I went on my trip to Belize. And then when I came back, I picked up where I left off and I finished off my deck. And so that set of knives from my friend Jessica again. Put those onions around and that little roast. The roast wasn't done cooking. It was just barely brown on both sides. And I told Joe, give me that roast. I ran outside and I did that. And he goes, what the hell are you doing again now, girl? And he says, please, not another book. And I said, no, I'm going to do a deck of tarot cards. And that's how that idea was birthed. Okay? So that's that. So, and then the Page of Swords, it's about curiosity, a curious kid, right? And the Page of Swords is the one like you would see investigating things with the magnifying glass, you know, a kid there looking at, oh, look at the bug crawling. That's how it feels to me. And so I did that for mine. They did like an ice cream cone. Okay, I sees you. I did Evie, the puppy, by then, because when the puppy first came home, she was only 9 weeks old. By now, she was almost 1, right? So that's her. That's the same puppy in the Fool, and our pumpkin. That was the second pumpkin, and I put a notebook there. She's taking notes. She has her knife there. She's going to cut that pumpkin. And she's inquisitive, like, what the hell is that? But she's afraid because those pumpkin leaves have stickers on them that can stab you, right? So she just went there to see what the hell we were doing when we took the picture. And then I said, Evie. And she looked and I got that picture. Some of these were catching lightning in a bottle, okay? I did. I really did. I didn't have to repose. Knight of Swords. Knight come charging through aggressive belief in your ideas, intellect, yada, yada. Knight of Swords. Their Knight of Swords is not flying either. I don't know what that is. My Knight of Swords, I'm cutting into like weird fruits, like the grapefruit. Well, grapefruit is not weird, orange not weird, but the dragon fruit. It's about that citrus and that ambition, assertive, driven to succeed. See that sharpness about it. See, it has a lime in there too. And the hardest thing to find was a grapefruit that could look red. So I had Jory Photoshop it. And if I only knew, my oranges on my tree in my backyard was ruby red on the inside, but I didn't know. I could have used an orange. Shoot. So then the Queen of Swords, see, she's sharp. Communicator, she's precise, right? So I like theirs. I like theirs with the watermelon. But I did those picnic sandwiches, finger sandwiches, you know, tea party sandwiches, I should say. And they're like cut precise. Cucumber sandwich, egg sandwich, and the smoked salmon sandwich is in the middle. And look at that beautiful teacup in the background. See, I was lucky because I have all these things from doing my books, right? And then the King of Swords. Pretty self-explanatory. Hi, Evie. I don't get this. I like snow cones, but I don't get this. That would have been a cups for me. And this is my hubby. We put the black background. He had a pumpkin in his hand, a fake pumpkin, and he had the real machete. And then my son superimposed or edited, photoshopped the coconut with the water splashing into his. Don't tell nobody, okay? Don't tell nobody. This was real. This one was real. Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles is about the earth, you know, money, health, stuff like that. So that's their Ace of Pentacles. Hold it that way from the light. And then this is their Ace of Pentacles. I don't get it. It's round. Look at my Ace of Pentacles. And this, I didn't have to reshoot because this is from one of my books. This is one of those gelatin cakes. Right? And a piece cut out. That's my Ace of Pentacles. And then the Two of Pentacles. I took this when we were going to a backyard party with my daughter Jada. She was going to go sing for the party in, I think, October. Like around Joe's birthday. And we were heading out for the party. And I stopped to take the picture last minute. They have, what do you call this thing again? Sushi. They have sushi. So I had 2 different breads at the time. And I had on a pretty dress, so I did that. Looks more like that. Right? And then the Three of Pentacles, I had this in my book already. This is about collaboration, working together. It's a good card. I like theirs. I love theirs. That's gorgeous. Mine, I had this cake already in my book. It's the cover of one of my cookbooks on my cake book, and it's 3 different layers, and it's working together. I had to put those things, you know, when you're making a layered cake, they have to work together, right? So that's what I did. For the Four of Pentacles, it's about greed, holding on to what you have for security and stuff like that. That's the Rider-Waite one. For theirs, they just did like, I don't know, some type of dessert tray thingy. For mine, I had this picture already of my daughter Jada eating these things that are called garnaches, which is kind of like a tostada. And she was leaving for work that day when I took this picture years ago for one of my books, and I gave her the plate and go, take this picture for me with the garnaches. But it happened to have 4 garnaches in it, and she looks fiery hot in it. And so it's about conserving, holding on, right? And then the Five of Pentacles is about loss and bankruptcy and, you know, all that type of stuff, and health. So they're out in the cold. Poor babies. See, theirs look sad, you know? I mean, not sad in the photo, but the spirit of the thing. So I use meat pies, and I talk with Julie about it, because right now meat pies is a rich dish because the meat is so expensive, ground beef. But back in the olden days, meat pies was what the poor people ate. So 5 meat pies. I had in my book already. Jade, I'm taping, babe.
Oh, sorry.
So the 5 meat pies. Right? Because that has to do with poor, right? And then 6 of Pentacles, it's about use your success and financial stability for greater good to help others. So it's about abundance again, theirs, right? And then look at theirs. And look at mine. I got this from one of my books, and I use the same tiles to make the countertop, and I have that mug with milk. I got that when I went to see my Uncle Les in Texas way back in 1991. I still have the mug, right? The mug back here. I just put the thing, and I have 6 chocolate chip cookies. It's about abundance, right? To share. You share cookies all the time, especially at Christmas time. And 7 of Pentacles, you're starting to see the fruits of your labor. Be patient and keep working. That's the 7 of Pentacles. That's theirs. If I don't know what it is, I'm not going to explain. I did my pineapple upside down cake that I have in one of my books already, because I have 7 pineapple slices, 6 on the front and 1 on the back. So I did that one. And then this one, the 8 of Pentacles, is about achieving, like honing your skills and your craft. And so see the guy's honing his skills and his craft right there. And for theirs, it's, I don't know what, dumplings? Well, dumplings are hard to make, so this one works. So for me, I did honey bagels, and I had Jada hold the brush, kind of like, we're honing this craft right here, guys. Honing this craft. And this was a rushed picture also, because Jada was leaving for work. I'm like, do this, hold this brush, because that Joe was bending the brush too much. Like, if, you know, it was too much. It was putting too much pressure. The 9 of Pentacles, you've crafted a life you desire and have achieved your goals. So it's about that abundance. I think about the Queen is in her count. The Queen is in the, where's that thing? Sing a song of pick 6pence, a pocket full of rye, right? 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. The Queen was in something in the, I know the King was in his counting house counting out his money. The Queen was in the garden eating bread and honey. Eating, I don't know why I think of that Queen. And then down, and the maid was in the garden hanging out some clothes, and down came a blackbird and picked right off her nose. Remember that one? Man, that came back from childhood. This is the 10 of Pentacles for them. And it's about abundance again. It's about abundance. And so abundance for them, I get that. I like that. I like the stack of pancakes. For me, I did all my different donuts and breads and stuff that I made that one day to take other pictures. So sometimes I would make a bread or something to take a specific picture, and then I would go ahead and just use it for another picture. So look at this one, and it has 9. Was I already at 10? Oh, it's already at 10. Sorry, let me do the 9. The 9, see? And I even have like donuts back there and stuff that I use in another picture. And if you notice, I use a dish towel that has a bee on it, because I feel like bee is so good. Such a good thing. All right, so then let me do the 10 for mine. I had Jada give Evie a plate full of plantain chips. Evie's in it again, guys. Beautiful Evie. The beautiful Evie and the beautiful Jada. My daughter Jada leaves at 2 o'clock in the morning, Christmas morning, to go to Ireland for her 30th birthday. Her birthday is Saturday, December the 27th. Page of Pentacles, again, page for me is a young kid. This is their page. No, this is their 10 of Pentacles. That makes sense. Their 10 of Pentacles. And this is their page. See, they get the idea with me with the page young, happy food. So for me, when Evie first came home, a year ago, I took this picture for one of my cake, for my cake book. And we put Evie on the chair, and that's when we were teaching her wait. And she learned it. And so, because she can't eat that chocolate cake, I made that chocolate cake for my daughter-in-law's birthday in November of 2024. And this is that's my Page of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles, we're almost done. Self-explanatory, right? This is their Knight, kind of like their Knight also. The Knight, I use a picture that's already in one of my books. The Pentacles really came through for me because I could use pictures that I already had taken. And this is my oldest son, the one that was in picture already with me for Judgment. And he's the one stealing the cookies, you know. So I use their body parts. And he is eating some meatballs, which are the Pentacles. I think this is a really handsome picture of Josh. And he's cool. He don't care if he's ugly in the pictures. Mom used it. I don't care. The other one, he's, oh, no, my God. Queen of Pentacles, being financially savvy and smart will lead to successful undertakings. That's that Queen. And then that's that picture for the Queen of Pentacles for them. And then for me, I had this in my book already. This is in my bread book. And so those things look like pentacles to me, so I use that. That's the one shot I think I have of my face head on. Let me close this door. Well, I'm almost done. This is the last one because she's talking loudly in her room. I told her I was taping. So when I looked up the meaning for the King of Pentacles, they said he has so much that he doesn't have to show off about it. He's the kind of king that doesn't have to put his crap on display. So I just did 3 of the wonderful things a king would be eating, and I put my husband in the chair behind it, and I have his arms folded like, look at me, I'm going to eat my stuff. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Okay. Evie, I just locked the door. That's their King of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, now it's locked. You hear the click? Evie can't bust it open again. The door dropped, so it has to lift. All right, so then this is their extra fortune cookie, and I wanted to do a fortune cookie one. I probably will show you the picture here, but I couldn't do it because I couldn't do the 79. In the future, if I print with somebody else, I will put that one in, okay? So this is the deck, the tarot, the gourmet tarot deck that I've been showing you guys that Julie had bought for me. And I think maybe that's what inspired me to do a food deck. And then this is the Rider-Waite. So now that my cards have come, I can actually mix up these cards if I wanted to start using them back in circulation, right? And this is my deck, guys. I'm not going to mix them up. Well, I will. I'll mix them up. I think I can mix them up. I already know the cards that needed to be fixed, and I fixed them. I am so happy with how these cards came out. I don't know who's going to buy these cards because the cards literally come to $43 plus $16 shipping. It was $66. Julie had to buy these for me to even have my deck. This is like one of the best Christmas gifts that I'm getting this year because Christmas has been so tight that it's just like bare necessities, you know? I'm grateful if I even pay a bill on time. So I think what I'm going to do is tape another episode when Jada pipes down, and I'll do the 4s, and then I'll go find the 4s in all the decks that I have. Now I have 6 decks instead of 5. So I'll go find all the 4s and we'll pick up where we left off. So this video will just be an interruption in the middle of everything, in the middle of what we're trying to do, because I'm trying to just go through all the cards the way I'm learning them. I'm presenting the videos the way I'm learning, and I do want to find $60-something to take a class from, well, it's a whole course from this lady that does Lenormand, because I really feel like I'm really good at Lenormand right now, and even more so than tarot. But I want to take a tarot class. So we're going to see every step of the way, because this channel is about learning, right? But we're also going to start reading. So Julie, again, thank you. I will forever ever remember you for opening this world to me, making me know that I don't have to be afraid of this. This is what the ancestors had for us, you know? And I really and truly love my deck of cards. I wouldn't change any. I wouldn't change any because a lot of thought went into making these cards. I just corrected the 3, you know, the 3 cards I showed you, but I wouldn't change any of the concepts that I have for the cards, okay?